Hey there, it's Scott Haase with the Indiana Twins. I'm our pitching coordinator, and welcome to this three-part video series on arm health during the season. Ball players need to remember three very important things, and we're going to talk about those. So if you're not already following us on social media, it's at Indiana Twins on all the social medias, or our mailing list that'll link somewhere in this video or in the comments or description below. But please follow us along so that you can get the entire series, and we hope you get a lot out of this. Thanks. Hey, welcome to video 3. Today we're going to talk about, in this video, arm care, arm strength, recovery, and a couple other things. So if you haven't already paid attention in our first couple videos in the 3-part series, video 1 was about pitch smart and the guidelines that have been put together to give players a better idea of how much they should throw and then how much time off they should have. In video 2, we talked about body language, some of the more subtle things that pitchers will do on the mound or in between innings that you can pick up on to then ask more questions to really see how their arm is doing and how they're physically doing. Again, in this video, we're going to talk about arm care. So, I've got a set of Jaeger bands in my hand. We've also got our crossover symmetry bands. Both are really good to use, but when it comes to arm care, we want to make sure that the shoulder and the surrounding musculature and everything is solid and stable. So we don't need to be throwing around a bunch of weight to do that, but on a daily basis, during the season especially, and well, I shouldn't say especially, throughout the year, players should be prioritizing their arm strength. So what you can do with these is put them on the same as we have with the crossover symmetry bands, and there's a series of exercises you can do. I know you can Google the Jaeger Band exercise series and find a bunch of different PDFs printed off. They've got a really good resource that explains all of it that you're going to get when you actually order the bands, somewhere between $30 and $40. We use the crossover symmetry bands only because our president likes them a little bit more, but also it incorporates the scapula a little bit more and the musculature around there. So it does a little bit more or a little bit differently than the Jaeger bands, but they're used pretty synonymously. They just have different connection points where these ones are crossing over on 2 different anchor points, and the Jaeger bands have the 1 anchor point. I will also put as an aside or a warning, make sure that if you do have any of these bands that you're checking kind of this connection area to see if it's dried out or rotting. We always tell our guys that. Because we don't want that snapping at all. And there is a warning message on here too. But making sure that the muscles that connect to the shoulder are strong is going to help a player maintain their arm strength, maintain their velocity and their command and those things, because it's just stronger. So holding that joint in, especially for the youth guys who tend to be more flexible and have a lot of laxity in their joints, they're more susceptible to maybe a dislocation or something like that, or just overstretching of the joint. Let's just make sure it's as strong as possible. Other things, strength-wise, can a player do a push-up or a plank? A very good form push-up or plank is such a good thing to have for a player. They're just their ability. So getting them into a push-up, getting here, making sure they can just stand here in a plank and go all the way down without having their hips fall down or having a wobble or having to push one up here, but just hands underneath their shoulders, doing a good push-up. Having that ability is really huge for a player for their arm health, because if they can't control their entire body, what you're going to find is the arm's at the mercy of a weak foundation, and if they're trying to throw really hard or in a stressful situation or haven't maybe had enough time off and they're showing you verbal cues, then unfortunately the arm's going to take the brunt of that stress and that force. And pitching is a repetitive motion in a game, so you're adding that repetitive force and stress on that arm over and over and over. That's just not something that we want. So that's a huge thing. Starting there and with push-ups, just very, very foundation, basic strength that we think is important to start with. And then from a recovery standpoint, are your players recovering? What does that mean? It means when they throw and the days in between, are they doing the right things that they need to do to feel better and be ready to pitch the next time? What are those things? It doesn't need to be fancy. Are they getting enough sleep? Are they getting enough water? Are they eating enough food? And is their stress level relatively low? Any of those things heightened can, even in the best of scenarios, best cases, put the player into a more susceptible position for injury because they just aren't recovering well. So if a player normally recovers in 2 or 3 or 4, however many days, but they've had a lot of stress at home or in school or test-wise or something like that, they haven't been getting much sleep, they aren't drinking their water, and they don't eat very well, that's a recipe for disaster. Maybe not, but understand the potential long-term concerns with that is just something that we need to take into consideration. And that doesn't cost anything to be able to track those and make sure that all those categories are taken care of from a nutrition and a sleep standpoint. There is obviously a cost to some of these different things. It's not a huge cost, but there is. But sleep, eating, stress, water, and push-ups and planks, there's not a cost to. Hey, if you ever wanted to join the Indiana Twins, whether a player or a coach or a trainer, we always have opportunities every single year. There's always someone leaving, whether it's they're moving or they're graduating or something's going on with their job. We're always looking for more help, and we're always looking for the best of the best players, the guys that really want to work hard. So if you are one of those people or one of those families, please reach out to us via either social media. When you see on Facebook that we're announcing our tryouts, show up to the tryouts, shoot us an email, indianatwins@gmail.com, or you can always visit our website, indianatwinsbaseball.org, and under the resources tab is usually information about our tryouts or joining the staff as well. So we look forward to seeing you out and can't wait to meet you.